Prayena deva munaya sabhimukti kama maunam charanti vijani na pararthanishtaha naitan vihaya kripanan vimumuksha eko nainam tu tvadasya sharanam brahmato anupasye. From the Bhagavatam, Prahlada's prayer. O Lord, generally the sages observe silence and practice other spiritual disciplines in solitude with a view to attaining their own liberation. They do not share the result of their spiritual disciplines with others. But I have no desire to be free, shunning my poor companions. Truly, I do not find any person except you who can save these souls. Pray, Lord, save the suffering souls of humanity. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 went forth. This morning our subject is Stories of Vedanta Monks Part 7. As you remember, I started this series some years ago. Actually, I worked on a book in Bengali, Prachin Sadhuder Katha, Stories of the Old Monks of the Ramakrishna Order. 825 pages. It will come in 2 volumes. From 1950, I came in contact with many great monks of the order. And I interviewed them, and some I wrote from my memories, some from my diaries. And I have many diaries of many great monks. That is the way I prepared that huge volume of manuscript. There are so many things to learn from these people. So today I shall talk about Swami Vireswarananda, who was the 10th president of the Ramakrishna Order. I knew him from 1960 to 1985, over the period of 25 years. I received my Brahmacharya vow, first monastic vow, and in 1966, and my final vows in 1969 from him. I shall make my talk in 3 parts. First, I shall tell you a brief biographical sketch of that Swami. Second, his reminiscences of 9 monastic disciples he knew personally. And Holy Mother. He was a disciple of Holy Mother. And third part, I shall tell you some of my personal reminiscences of the Swami. Swami Vireswarananda was born on 31st October 1892 in Madras. His family came from South Kannada, near Mangalore. He lost his mother when he was 5 years old, and he lost his father when he was 10 years old. He was raised by his uncle. There are 3 children, 3 brothers and sisters. And his pre-monastic name was Pandurang Prabhu. Prabhu, Prabhu, that is his surname. So we used to call him Prabhu Maharaj. That is the way he is known. So he went to school in Mangalore, Then he moved to Madras Presidency College to have his bachelor's degree. His uncle wanted him to be a lawyer, so he was sent to Trivandrum. But when he was in college, his friend gave him a copy of complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 1, where you will find Swamiji's Chicago addresses, Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. That is the first volume. So he was so inspired, he wrote a letter to the publisher, Swami Pragyananda in Mayavati, in the Himalayas. That Swami suggested him that you keep in contact with the Swami in Madras. So he came to know about the Swamis there. Then in June 1916, he joined the Ramakrishna Order in Belwood Mott, 24 years old, came from South India. He was very short, but he was extremely intelligent, very cool-headed, humorous, loving soul. So Swami Premananda, a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, asked him that you go to Jairambaji and have initiation from the Holy Mother. So he took a train. It is a small meter gauge train from Howrah. Came to Chapajanga, the nearest place. From Chapajanga, they began to walk. Do you know how does it go? From Chapajanga to Mungeshwari, 5 or 6 miles, walk. Cross the river. Again walk 12 miles. Then come to Darogeshwar. Then walk another 12 miles. Then he will go to Kamarpukur. So 24 and nearly 30 miles he will have to walk. So when they reached the Chapajanga station, it was night, evening, so they stayed in the railway station. He mentioned that half of the roof of the station was not there. Anyhow, we passed the night there. Then they began to walk, crossed one river. Then I remember when I first went to Kamarpukur Jairambachi, I had to cross also 3 rivers. So now, of course, all rivers, there is a bridge. You can go in 2 hours from Calcutta to Kamarpukur Jairambachi. So what happened? On the way, Swami Shat Prakashananda, who was the head of this center, he and another Swami and this Swami, the 3 were going to Jairambachi for initiation. But Shat Prakashananda had dysentery on the way. They could not make it. This Swami could not make it. So Prabhu Maharaj told him that it would be very difficult for Holy Mother to take care of you in that remote village. You better go back to Calcutta. So Shat Prakashananda and his other friend came back to Calcutta. He alone and another devotee reached Kamarpukur at 10 o'clock. Sri Ramakrishna's nephew gave them lunch. Then in the afternoon, again 4 miles he will have to walk. He reached Jairambaji. He found Holy Mother was seated on a veranda and cutting vegetables for the night meal, for supper. And he took a letter from Premananda. A brahmachari read that letter to her. And mother said, all right, I shall initiate him tomorrow morning, after my worship. So thus he was initiated. Very interesting. Then I shall tell him that he got his Brahmacharya Bhav from Swami Brahmananda, and finally in 1917, and got his final vows in 1920 from Swami Brahmananda. But he was so, sometimes you can see some people, maybe young, but very dependable, very predictable, and very responsible. So this young man was seeing his sincerity, genuine love for the order. The authority made him a trustee in 1929. Very young. And then they sent him to be the president of the Advaita Ashrama in Mayavati. At that time he published Romarola's, those famous books on Ramakrishna Vivekananda. Brilliant man. Not only that, he was very learned. He translated Brahma Sutra, Shankara's commentary, some part, into English. Then Sridhara's commentary of the Gita into English. Then Sri Bhashya into English. Great scholarly person. He knew 7 languages. Anyhow, he became the president of Advaita Ashrama. Then, in 1938, he became the assistant secretary of the Ramakrishna Order in headquarters in Belur. Then he became the general secretary in 61. Then he became the president in 1966 till his death 1985. That is a short biographical sketch. He was a great karma yogi. Work was worship to him. Only in between 2 years he went to Rishikesh to practice austerity. You see, that is very important for a monk's life. Completely depend on God. Don't carry any food, money, nothing. Just bake food from the chhatra, from the inns, and practice your spiritual disciplines. That he did for 2 years. Anyhow, Swami passed away. He developed throat cancer in 1983 and passed away March 13, 1985. That is a short biographical sketch. Now I shall tell you his reminiscences of some Holy Mother and some other direct disciples. As I already mentioned, Mother, his initiation from the Holy Mother. He said, if anybody would come to Holy Mother, he never disappointed that devotee. Always initiated them. Whoever he or she may be. He said that there was a young woman who used to come to sell vegetables, hawkers, from door to door. So Holy Mother used to buy vegetables from her. After Holy Mother's passing away, that woman used to come and sit on her veranda, mat floor, and for a few minutes. Why do you here? Mother is not here. Still I remember her. When I come here and sit, I get peace and joy. Swami mentioned that whom Mother touched, how their lives are transformed. He wrote many small reminiscences. A rich man donated a lot of money to the Ramakrishna Order. Mother said, how much he left for the poor people. She loved the poor people, served them. Then he told his eyewitnesses accounts. When Mother passed away, I was there. Her body was brought to Belur Math from Calcutta. It was cremated. The other side of the Ganges, heavy rain. But this side of Belur Math, sunshine. Then when her body was completely cremated, then Swami Vishwananda put, according to the rituals, you will have to pour water on that funeral pyre. Meanwhile, rain came and the rain extinguished the entire fire. Well, I was an eyewitness. I saw it. It is an amazing phenomenon. Mother was the Divine Mother, the nature itself, the extinguished Mother's funeral pyre. Somebody asked Holy Mother, Mother, when will be the India free? Mother says, you people will not be able to bring freedom by fight. When there will be fight among themselves, then India will be free. And that actually happened. During the Second World War, began and India got freedom in 1947, just after the Second World War. He mentioned some people come and complain about the restlessness of the mind. Mother said, let that person repeat mantra 10 to 15,000 times. Then mind will be automatically under control. And our last message, don't see fault in others. Then he talked about Swami Brahmananda. We saw Maharaj most of the time in ecstatic mood, in samadhi. His mind will roam in a higher realm of consciousness. Sometimes we used to give him tobacco to smoke. He will give 1-2 puff, then gone. But he was very much interested about gardening, flower garden, fruit garden, vegetable garden, then about dairy. He said the monastery should be very neat and clean, and the monks shouldn't judge me idle. You must grow something, try to be self-sufficient. And he was something unique. South Indian flowers, fruits, those trees he will bring to North India. For example, Nagalingam. In Bengal, we have never seen Nagalingam, which is Brahmananda brought Nagalingam, which is a beautiful flower from south in Belurma. And some of the Dopati fool and some other flowers are Bengalis, they bloom like anything. He took those things to Bangalore. And fruit trees. Hey, this fruit is good. Take some plants and send to other part of the country. He was amazing. Not only that, he went to South India and heard the Ram Nam Sankirtan, the hymn, the chanting on the name of Rama. He brought that thing and introduced in the Ramakrishna order. Nowadays in every center on Ekadashi Day, they sing that Ram Nam. What is good in South India, that will bring to North India. What is good in North India, that will bring to South India. You know, this is the way we find what is called national integration. Otherwise, South and North, you know, their puja beat, their language, our puja beat, our language, completely different. But how we can unite ourselves through religion? That Swamiji said. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Arabian Sea to Bay of Bengal, vast land, 18 major languages, 200 dialects, food habit, dress, everything different, but all are Hindus. In that respect, there is unity. That Swamiji said. Tried. It is extremely difficult to train, make human beings perfect. That Swami Brahmananda used to do. Every morning you boys come and meditate with me. Then after 2-3 hours meditation, you will talk. Ask any questions you want. This is the way he used to train these young monks. Very important. I sometimes say that, you know, in home, you must, in the evening, you must tell the stories of the Ramayana, Mahabharata, the epics, the moral and ethical stories to the children. That is the way they get training. Only television will not do. Not only that, sometimes he tried to introduce Indian culture from different parts. For instance, in Madras, he started Durga Puja with image. That is not very common in South. Bengal is very, very famous for Durga Puja. In Konkan also, Hardwar. I am just telling you that how these great monks of the Ramakrishna order felt about the whole country. on Swami Brahmananda's birthday, they gave him a garland and flowers and all those things, bouquet. Then he took these things and asked other monks, give to Swami Shuddhananda, who was Vivekananda's disciple and one of the trustees. These garlands around him, and you boys sing and dance around him. Yes, he was full of fun. And they knew that Maharaj is a knower of Brahman. He used to bring his mind down to do this kind of merriments and childish game. In Madras, Swami Ramakrishnananda brought a plate of fruit, sweets. Some Madras devotees brought to him. Maharaj, please eat this fruit, sweet. No, my stomach is bad. Yesterday I was very bad. I was sick. I cannot eat this food. Take back. You do not eat. It is Sri Ramakrishna sitting inside you, eat this food. Immediately he started to eat. And he was not sick at all. You know, it shows when your mind is united with God, what happens. They play in different plays. He went to visit Madurai temple, Meenakshi, one of the famous temples in the South India. According to their custom, only Brahmins can enter the inner sanctuary. Brahmananda was not a Brahmin, he is Kshatriya. Thus, the moment he was trying to enter, the priests are trying to stop him, but in the meanwhile, Swami Ramakrishnananda, who was with him, he is Brahmin, he shouted, Alwar, Alwar. Alwar is a Vaishnava sage, illumined people. Well, he is an illumined soul. Then the priests went back. They didn't want to stop him. And they saw Swami Brahmananda stood in front of the mother image. And he was in Samadhi. And Ramakrishnananda is holding him. And the priests are all overwhelmed. Amazing. These disciples of Ramakrishna. Then he mentioned once in Belur Math, Swami Brahmananda was singing and dancing, and all of a sudden he went into Samadhi. They carried his body in the living room. Then they could not bring his consciousness back. Then Holy Mother came, Rakhal. He touched his body, eat this. Then he came back to his own consciousness. You know, these Swamis, they are the eyewitnesses of this account. They saw how an illumined soul lives in this world. Then he talked about Swami Premananda, who was another direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He used to cut vegetables for the master's cooking. A young man came, he has a master's degree, wants to be a monk. Oh, you have a master's degree, you want to be a monk. Go, cut the fodder for the cows. First I shall shatter your ego. Go. So he went to cut the fodder. Son of a rich man, cut his finger. So somebody says he cut his finger, he was trying to hide. Then Swami Premananda said, he took him to the dispensary, made a bandage. I asked you to cut the fodder, not the finger. You have no concentration. How these disciples of Ramakrishna tested people. One day, he was invited to speak in Bangladesh, Dhaka. So the devotees came to pick him up. He said, let me go to the shrine first. He went to the shrine and asking permission from Sri Ramakrishna, Master, shall I go? The devotees could not hear, but he heard Sri Ramakrishna told him, don't go. So he did not go. He came out from the shrine and told the devotees, I cannot go. Master forbade me. What happened? Next day they saw in the newspaper that the train goes from Calcutta to Gwalior, and then you will have to take a boat, steamer, which goes to Dhaka. And that steamer sank from the cyclone. It was overturned and all are killed. Sri Ramakrishna said, don't go. He emphasized Yuga Dharma, the religion of this age. What is the religion of this age? Serve human beings as God. That is the supreme worship, Para Puja. I was told, one devotee was asking me in Kansas City, Swami, what is puja? What is worship? I said, last Sunday I spoke in our Hindu temple about worship. First kind of worship is, as we go to the temple, shrine, we carry flowers, fruits and offer to the deities. External worship, as I do here 3 times a year. That is first. Next worship is going to the temple, we pray, we glorify God, we sing, we chant the mantra. That is second kind of worship. Third kind of worship is meditation on God. You meditate and try to be united with God. And the highest worship, I am Brahman. I am that supreme reality. I am that Atman. So if you cannot do the highest, and that is very difficult, I am the Atman. Come to the second stage, meditate on God. If you cannot do that, come to the third stage. That is meditation or the prayer. It is very common. Christianity will find a lot of prayers. Or Hindus also, japam. And if you cannot do that, come to the lowest stage. That is external worship. Fruits, flowers, incense, go to the temple, offer to the Lord, and that way you feel good. So he said the highest worship after, do you know what worship does? It will destroy your selfishness, ego. Those are the 2 great obstacles in his spiritual life. So he said that Swami Vivekananda demonstrated the greatest worship in this age. For example, if an illiterate person comes to you, give him education. If a hungry person comes to you, give him food. If a sick person comes to you, give him medicine. If a rich person comes to you, give him spirituality. According to person, you will have to perform worship. That he was talking in Malda in one lecture. So somebody says, we like to hear about devotion. Oh, you want to know about devotion? I don't find anybody here who is capable to listen to devotion. What do you mean? There are thousands of people who don't believe. No. Then he says, listen to a story. There was a hawker. At noontime when people go to work, they sell their merchandise from, in Calcutta Street, you can see it. Do you like to buy utensil? Do you like bed sheet, bed cloth? Some people carry on their shoulder and they move from lane to lane, they sell their products. So what happened? A man came and said, hello, do you like to buy love and devotion? Do you want to buy love and devotion? He was ferrying. Then what happened? Some people opened the door, how much is the price? But it is priceless. You will have to give, but then tell me what shall I give? Head. Your head is the price. Door was closed. In this way, nobody dared to buy love and devotion. Nobody wants to give their head. Head means you are everything to God. Who is here who can offer everything to God. I do not want to keep anything for myself. That way you can attain love and devotion. That's a story Swami told to the devotees. Then he talked about Swami Vireswarananda. Well, I was with him from 1920 to 1921 March. He was a Gitokta yogi. We read Gita, but we do not apply the teachings of Gita on our lives. But this Swami did. He took a verse and applied on his life and attained perfection. Then he took next verse of the Gita. So he was a Gitokta yogi. Then he said that how when God protects you, what happens? He was traveling during his itinerant days. And he was lying down under a tree. All of a sudden, he heard some voice. Somebody is pushing him. Hey, get away from this place. Get away from this place. So he did not see anybody. Anyhow, he heard the voice. Immediately left the place. Then a cyclone was blowing and a big branch of the tree fell on that spot. But it was Sri Ramakrishna protected me. Then somebody asked, he went for begging food. Somebody asked, what is renunciation? Well, if I had renunciation, do you think I would come here for begging food? I would sit there and God would bring food to me. God is love. He came to America in 1899 and stayed till 1902. 3 years he lived in America. Especially he worked in California, Shanti Ashrama, and San Francisco. He did not care too many rules and regulations. Just love God and meditate on Him. Have a direct contact with God. He was a great taskmaster. He trained some American devotees in California. One day a devotee came, Swami, we are going to a theater. It is a beautiful and well-managed play. Let us go. Swami said, no, you better stay with me. We shall study Gita. And he lifted their minds in a higher level of consciousness. You know, that Swami inspired me very much in my life. I read his letters. And I read his all reminiscences available. I mean, if you really get boost in your spiritual life, that is the Swami. He had carbuncle. Doctor wanted to do the surgery on him. He said, at that time, I'm talking about 1921, 22. At that time, anesthesia was not invented. It was chloroform. They used to put chloroform. So the doctor said that we will have to do chloroform on you before the surgery. He said, no, not necessary. Just before surgery, tell me, I shall withdraw my mind from the body and I shall not feel at all. And that he did. Before surgery, he took away his mind from the body. Surgery was done. Then when the surgery is over, he said, everything is okay. Then he came back to his body. How to do it? That way, he quite often used to say, Dukkho jane, ar shorir jane, man tumi anande thako. The suffering and the body take care of themselves. Oh my mind, you stay in bliss. That is a beautiful message. He told his attendants, you people take care of my body, and I take care of your soul. Sometimes he used to scold his attendants. Then somebody said, "You are a monk. How is it that you become so restless and you lose your temper and scold?" Then Swami said, "My scolding is for your good. I have no motive, no self-interest. I like to see your good, your welfare. So when I see imperfections, I try to correct you." That little things, if you can be perfect, then in big things you will be perfect. That is the way these teachers used to teach. He says, "I never sat in my life reclining on my back. If all the pictures you see, his backbone is straight." At the time of death, he was telling his attendants, "Hold me, make me sit. I shall give up my body through sitting posture, not lying down on bed." What willpower he had. Next, Swami Akhandananda. He was Nwara Brahman, Ramakrishna's disciple, but very childlike nature. And he is the Swami started the philanthropic activities of the Ramakrishna Mission in 1897. Swamiji was very fond of him. What was his main focus? He practiced one verse from the Bhagavatam. Ko nunasyat upayotra yenam sarvadehinam antah pravishya satatam bhaveyam dukkvaravak. Lord, is there any way that I can enter the heart of suffering human beings and take their sufferings so that I can relieve them? That was his motto. I shall take other sufferings and make them happy. Great Swami. Goal, Karma Yoga. Naranara and Seva. Worship human beings as God. What Swamiji told him, that he practiced. You lead your life for your own liberation and for doing good to humanity. He says, you people think that if you worship the temple with the stone images, you will realize God, and worshiping these living gods, you will not realize God. That is the way in Concord, in Hardwar. The Himalayan monks considered as Bhangi monk. Bhangi means sweeper monks. We are sweepers. In our hospital, we nurse the patients, clean their body. That is sweeper's job. That we do. These are all sweeper monks. They used to hate us. They will look down upon us. Then there was a big debate in Hardwar. There was one Swami. He really appreciated our work in. Some people are dying on the street. Some monks are dying without treatment. We used to pick up those people and treat them in our hospital. Free. That we do in Vrindavan. That we do in Banaras. That we do in Concord, Hardwar. I was reading an interview. We take care of 1,600 poor widows in Vrindavan. Every month we give them ration. Rice, lentil, oil, soap, clothes, blanket, whatever they need we offer, we give. Some rich people, of course, fund for this project. 1,600 women we take care of. Old widows. Some are on the streets. We take care of them. So he was one of them who did these kinds of activities, you know. One day he came to Calcutta. So the other monk said, Maharaj, we will have to feed us today some rasgulla, sweet balls. Hey, I do not have money. but we see some money in your pocket. He went to Swami Vishwananda. Look, your monks are demanding Rasgulla from me. Where shall I get money? You have money. Why don't you feed them? Oh, you are taking their side. Then it is all fun. He wanted to feed them. But he wanted to be demanded, forced. Then it will be interesting. Then he was not well, so he came to Calcutta and staying for treatment in the house of a very rich person. Then Swami Vireswarananda went and some other monks, Maharaj, look how I am well taken care of here by these devotees. You people cannot take care of me this way. Then the Swami said, Maharaj, this is the house of a rich man. And Belur Math is the monastery of Vivekananda. We cannot compete with them. That is Swamiji's monastery. You are right. I shall go tomorrow there. I shall leave this rich man's house. Then this rich man came and the other people, Maharaj, please stay. No, I shall go to Belur Math. He did not listen to anybody. Next morning he left. Swamiji. Then he told Swami Vireswarananda, told, I heard also the story from him also. He said, he was then the president of Advaita Ashrama in Calcutta. And Swami was staying in that rich man's home. Then he said, one monk went to Swami Akhandananda and told him, Swami, we had a nice feast and you are in Calcutta, they did not invite you. Swami said, yes, Prabhu did not invite me. No. Let him come, I shall show him something, So he went. Other monk came and told Prabhu Maharaj that I told against you to Swami Akhandananda. So he went to him and Maharaj, he did not want to say, he was piqued. Maharaj, tell me, what is wrong? Wrong. You arrange a big feast and you did not invite me. That is wrong. Well, I have a complaint against you. This is my complaint. Then Prabhu Maharaj said, I have also complaint against you. What is your complaint? Then Akhandananda said, well, you have complaint against me and I have complaints against you. So we need a judge. Who will be the judge? Who will settle our dispute? Then Prabhu Maharaj said, you will be the judge. How can I be judge? I am complaining. I cannot be judge. The Maharaj, you will be the judge. I do not trust any monks, but I trust you. You will be the impartial. Though you are complaining against me, but I like to, you will have to be a judge. All right, I shall be the judge. Let me say, what is your complaint? Maharaj, you tell me what is your complaint. You did not invite me, that is my complaint. Maharaj, it is not a big bhandara. Just some people brought some sweet, some rasgulla and some green coconut that we ate and enjoyed. It is not a big feast. Oh. Then he said, now you will have to listen my complaint. Well, what is your complaint? Swamiji said that if you make any mistake, you will have to take that person privately, not publicly. And then you talk to him. That is the norms. So you broke the rule of Swamiji. You did not call me and ask me. You publicly said these things against me. You are right. Then it is my mistake. So I lost. Yes, Maharaj, you have lost. You broke Swamiji's rule. So much faith in Swamiji's words. That is our custom. If you make a mistake, I shall take you privately in my room and I shall tell you these are the things wrong you are doing. That I shall not beat the drum in front of everybody and embarrass you. Because we develop mutual love and respect. I shall not demean you in front of everybody. So, yes, I made a mistake. So what will be the solution? My solution is very easy. What? You will have to come to Advaita Ashram and have lunch with us. And you will have to stay till 4 o'clock. Alright. But that is the damage. You make the damage in the suit, and that way it will be cleared up. Alright. He came, had lunch. Now I shall go. No. You will have to stay till 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Alright. But we shall feed you something we have never eaten. What? I traveled all over India. I was the guest of the many Maharajas. I ate all various things in my life. What will you feed me? You will see you have never eaten in your life, which we shall give to you at 4 o'clock. All right, then I shall stay. He decided to stay. In the meantime, Prabhu Maharaj made coffee and went to the market, brought some ice and put ice and all over and made that coffee very cold. Then it is summertime. So at 4 o'clock he gave that coffee to Swami. He sipped it. Hey, it is very good. Really, I have never drank this kind of iced coffee in my life. It is something new. You know, sometimes this knower of Brahman, how they become very, very childlike. So simple, so no harsh ego. Then he talked about Swami Vishwananda. He was doing the construction work of Vivekananda's temple and shortage of bricks. And he was complaining. Swami Brahmananda said, brick will come. Tonight brick will come. No, Maharaj, brick will not come. Well, bet 10 rupees. If you lose, you will give me 20 rupees. And if I lose, I shall give you 10 rupees. So Swami Vivekananda did not sleep at night. Every hour he gets up and see whether the Ganges Ghat, the brick boat has arrived or not. Then at 4 o'clock he knew that he won. He went to bed. And Maharaj also got 4:35 and saw that brick, that boat just anchored in our Belur Ghat. And Maharaj kept quiet. Then Maharaj, Swami got up and came to Brahmananda's room. Maharaj, you lost. Brahmananda said, you have lost. You go and see whether brick has arrived or not. He peeped through the window and saw the boat was there. Then he said, Maharaj, I have no money. You give me 10 rupees that I shall return to you. That bet, I have no money. You will have to give money that I shall return to you. How this, this war of Brahmans, how they play. He says, I was sleeping in a room pretty close to Swamiji's room, Vivekananda's room, and I heard some crying noise from Swamiji's room. I entered the room, I saw Swamiji was lying down on the floor crying. Swamiji, Vishwan, you were here? I thought you were sleeping. I was sleeping, my sleep broke. You were crying hard. What is wrong? Patient, I cannot bear the sufferings of human beings. I see people are suffering, and I was praying to Sri Ramakrishna to remove their sufferings. And another story he told, that all of a sudden Swamiji cried out at night in his room. So again Vivekananda went. Swamiji, what is wrong? Wrong? I was sleeping. Something happened. It shocked my heart and my sleep broke. There is somewhere wrong. Next day they found in Fiji there was a terrible earthquake. many people died. Swami sees that, then earthquake, sometimes the shock, systematic, how this earthquake this goes and hits others. This Nora Brahman, his heart was hurt because of this. He told all these stories. Swami told many stories of Swami Ramakrishna. How Sri Ramakrishna, how he served Sri Ramakrishna. Summertime in Madras, there was no fan. He was a palm leaf fan. He will go and whole night will fan Sri Ramakrishna. If there is a rain, he will go and hold the umbrella so that the water will not drip on Sri Ramakrishna's bed. But he was an amazing person. He used to see Sri Ramakrishna leaving. This story I have never heard. Sometimes during the British period, they thought the monks are very revolutionary, but they are doing something against the British government. So some secret service people came in disguise to Madras monk. And Swami invited him for lunch. He made some small stone chips with rice and dal and gave him to eat. Then he was saying, Swamiji, what is wrong? I hear a lot of stone chips. We are poor monks, that is the way we eat here. He knew that man is a spy, has come to spy against them, against the monks. That's that man left. Anyhow, now I shall tell you my reminiscences. I wrote a few pages in his memorial volume. As I said, he was not a very good looking and a big person, so I wrote a story in the very beginning. Abraham Lincoln was not a good looking person. So when you wait for debating with Douglas, his opponent, and Douglas said, "A Lincoln is a double-faced man, don't give him vote, give vote to me." Lincoln got up and said, "My friend Douglas says I am a double-faced man. If I had a spare face, do you think I would carry this one?" That is a beautiful line of Lincoln. Another story I remember. Lincoln said, I am so poor, I cannot come to you. My opponent brought by his carriage to you. So he's a good man. So you give vote to him. If you don't give to him, give to me. And he won. Amazing person, Abraham Lincoln. So Maharaj may not be very good looking or something like that, but he has a magnetic personality. And very austere. So after my initiation, I go into him, Maharaj, give me some advice. Advice? Read Swami Turiyananda's letters and Brahmananda's teachings, then you will not have to ask any question about spiritual life to anybody. Those two books are in Bengali. I translated them into English. A Guide to Spiritual Life and Spiritual Treasures. If you read these two books, you will not have to ask any question to anybody. You know exactly what the spiritual life is and what you will have to do. In 1962, he asked me, could you buy a milk pot for me which can contain 2 cups of milk? So I went to Calcutta, different shops, and I carried one pot to him. He took his 2 cups and see that still it is 2.5 cups. It is not exact 2 cups. He said, take back, I want 2 cups. Again came back, went to China Market, Chandni Chowk, all shops I searched. Finally, I took 3 or 4 containers. A little more, little less, this, that. I could not get exact 2 cups. So I told the owner of the shop, I am giving you money, but you will have to take back if I do not want to buy. Well, that will be fine. So I had 3-4 containers to him and say, Maharaj, these are the things available in the market. You will have to choose. Again he measured. Then he said, without any, unwillingly he accepted one. Later I came to know why he was so particular. Because in monk's quarter, the ration is 2 cups of milk. And if he sends it to the kitchen, they will fill it up, because he was the General Secretary. That means he is taking half a cup milk extra. That means he is depriving other monks half a cup milk that he does not want. How thoughtful, caring, loving this persons were. Very particular. Another day he asked me a question. So I said, Maharaj, I think so. It may be. In this way he answered. He scolded me right and left. What? Never give me any vague answer. Either you say, yes, I know, or say, I do not know. Based on your words, I shall make a decision. So if your words are wrong, my decision will be wrong. I learned a great lesson. Don't use any vague words. I think so, it may be, it seems to me. He was very fond of ginger lozenges, very hard rock candy, ginger candy. I used to buy for him. I remember in training center we had a very bad time when we were in training in 64, 65. We did not have sufficient food in the monastery. We were very hungry in the evening. So sometimes we used to go to him and he knew that we do not have money to buy extra food for the brahmacharis. No snack. 11 o'clock, 11:30 lunch, 9:20 dinner. In between, only 1 cup of tea. So what happened when I came to Hollywood, when I told my stories of training center, a devotee gave me $12,000. Immediately I sent to Balloon Mart, to the training center, to the President Maharaj. Maharaj, I got this $12,000. Please buy afternoon snacks for these young monks in the training center. Then he wrote me back, you were right, you suffered, but now we arrange that thing. They get some puffed rice, some cookies and some stuff, some snacks we are providing to the monks. I remember I used to offer food to Swami Vivekananda on his birthday. In his room, morning breakfast, noontime lunch, evening dinner, and every 2-3 hours, 1 cigarette. Swamiji. So all devotees will bring all fancy cigarettes. So every 2-3 hours I put a cigarette and put a cigarette tray on his desk. Cigarette will be burnt automatically, you know. So in 8 o'clock, Swami Vireswarananda used to come to the Swamiji's room. And he used to ask, hey, is there any cigarette prasad left? Cigarette prasad. Thankfully, yes, Maharaj, some cigarettes, some whatever packets are left over, I gave to him and he used to take this thing and go to his room. Cigarette prasad. I remember when I was in Hollywood, there also one nun used to come and tell me, Swami, can I have some cigarette prasad of Swamiji? Uncle, I can give you, but on condition you will have to meditate whole night. While I was coming to this country, I was selected for Hollywood. I went to him and Maharaj, I am going, I do not know where I am going. We were going to work for Sri Ramakrishna, don't worry. That time, it was on 31st May evening in Bombay. I am leaving 1st of June, early morning. I went to his room, he gave me some sweets, some fruits, and blessed me. Then in 1977, when I returned to India, he was telling, hey, sprinkle some Ganges water on his head and make him pure. He came from the West. And give him a chair. Uncle Maharaj, I feel shy to sit in front of you on a chair. I shall sit on the floor. Hey, give him a table instead of chair. I sat at his feet. My time is over, but he is a really, really great sadhu. One day he told me, nobody is perfect. We have come here to become perfect. If you take the hair from a blanket, one after another, there will be no blanket. So, give everybody a chance. The monks, they also make mistakes. Give them a chance. It is Sri Ramakrishna brought them. It is Sri Ramakrishna who will change them. We can only create a spiritual atmosphere. If you live with them, full of compassion, full of forgiveness, and it is the love which can change people. That is short. Thank you. Masatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mritturma amritam gamaya, aviravidma yedhi, rudrajatte dakshinamukam, tenamam pahi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through, and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Oh, peace, 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 bring forth.